I'm going to stop you because this is a recapitulation. First of all, I want to applause for this fantastic performance. You're wonderful. And I want to explain why I stopped, because this is not a performance class, this is an investigation class. Right? So we're in a conversation about music, and I have enough to have a conversation with you already. First of all, you're playing wonderfully, and it's very exciting for me because I haven't heard Tom play the violin ever. He was always, for me, a violist, and you're a wonderful violinist, and that's great. And you have one of the best pianists anywhere, so this is great. So what could possibly be improved? Very little, actually. And what is missing for me is sheer energy and excitement in what's happening in the music, because there's so much happening in the music. And you're taking it a little bit for granted, as if you assume that everybody is moved and touched and impressed and excited, whereas in fact they're not going to be excited unless you're excited. You get it? And your capacity to be excited and to be revelatory, to reveal what's there, is the secret here. Because they all found it wonderful. They all said, this is great, he's a wonderful player, she's a great pianist, the piece is beautiful, wonderful, let's just bathe in it. But it didn't have any real effect. And you see these faces, they're nice faces, but they're kind of ordinary faces. And ordinary faces is not, we're not in the business of ordinary faces, right? So we have to do something special. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. And the beginning is fantastic, because it's such a brilliant idea. I mean, already it's an extraordinary thing to begin a piece of music that way. Right, so do the beginning. Allegro assai means?
Very fast.
Very fast, not fast enough. Assai in French is enough. Assai in Italian is very. There's a huge difference between enough and very. That's the difference we're going to find here. Are you ready? Here we go. Even that, it's a little... Imagine you were conducting an orchestra. Imagine you had an orchestra in front of you and you went, there's a wonderful story of Bruno Walter, who was conducting Carmen overture, and he went like this. It's too loud. He said they hadn't played a note, but already he knew it was too loud. So, yeah. Yeah, now it's very interesting because there ought to be a crescendo in the second bar, but there isn't. All right, but you have to feel it as if there is. Do it once with a crescendo. Do a huge crescendo all the way. Right, that's what it should be. Right? That's great. That makes perfect sense. Now do what Beethoven wrote, which is want the crescendo, but don't actually do it. Right? Yeah, and your last note is the final thing in the phrase. It's not pri-per-li-dum. It's da-da-ti-da-da-di-da-da-jum. That belongs to the beginning. And now you start new. And it's something quite new. Once again. No. And then finish. Right? Just do that and don't go on. And make that last note the climax of the whole thing. That's something. That's something. I wouldn't play it so lyrically. Like that, make it a roar. One last time. And I love the no crescendo. Once again. One. Now go on. Right, this is the opposite. Because this time it's 40 to begin with, and it's a subito piano, and then do-di-di, do-di-di, pa-pa-dum! Right. It's a total shock. Don't take any time, right? Absolutely in time. Once more from the beginning. One. something completely different. That's a very shocking beginning. Now imagine that was the whole piece, and you didn't have any more to play, just those 2 lines, and you're going to grab this audience and shock them. Come a little closer to them, don't worry about it, she'll be with you. All right, once again, here we go. Yeah, sorry, here we go. That's something, right? Now already you've got a little reaction, a little warmth in the voice, in the eyes, right? People are getting a little excited. Okay, now comes something completely different, totally different. Change your face. So go on. Yeah, that subito piano is so strange, isn't it? Complete change. Beautiful. That was Dolce. Oh, she plays so beautifully, doesn't she? You're doing one thing. Wait a minute, Dina. You do da da dee, da da dee. Those 2 notes are not upbeats. So do from here. Da 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 dee da da. That's all one. T. Fortissimo in the piece. It should be electrifying, right, when you finally get to it. But this is exciting. Sforzando, da, attack, da, very sudden, so that everything is slightly surprising, right? If you surprise yourself, you'll surprise them. If you're not surprised, then they won't be either. So every time you get to something which is unusual, like even that everything is a surprise. Do one more time. Dolce. Do you see the difference? The difference between da da dee, da da da, da da da, and ta da da, yada, dee, yada. It's a little thing, but it's so touching, that difference. That's also the first pianissimo. First fortissimo, first pianissimo. That was great instead of beautiful. Very exciting. You're looking more excited because you're actually interested in all these surprises. Because you go on from fortissimo. Yeah, did you hear that? That was so beautiful because she took a little extra time, more time than was needed. Literally, she took a little extra time, and that made all the difference to the pianissimo. Once again, fortissimo. Yeah, no, that's not what he wrote. So do the pianissimo. No, it starts pianissimo. good. You missed that one before completely. That's such a surprise. Because the last thing in the world you expect is something on the second beat. Right? There we go. And if you raise your eyebrows and turn it to the audience, like that, then it'll get the point over. Right? Bravo, you're great. Would you do it once more from the first pianissimo? Magical. And remember, this is very important. The music goes up. So it sounds as though it ought to be because it goes up, but it's actually because the first bar is heavy and the second bar is light, or the first half of the bar is heavy in this case and the second is light. One. Yeah, can I suggest you completely different character. Yes. That's interesting. It's interesting because that crescendo, piano crescendo to piano is so shocking and so surprising, and you go from a G to a G sharp, you actually need a little time. So you need to take a little time with him. But that was great. Do it once again. No. You see, look at her face. Look at her face. She got it. She went, yes, yes. Your job is to make the audience go, yes, all the time. And that was great. Sometimes you forget how exciting music is because you're so good at it. You say, I can do this. I really can do this thing. I can play. I'm really terrific. And I know the music and it's great. But you forget how exciting it is. All right? That was great, you two. It was fabulous. Would you do from G sharp? You know the famous G sharp. I don't have bar numbers here. That's a subito piano on the one. You don't have it on the one. Do you have it on the one? You've got a forte for 2 bars and then a subito piano right on the one. That was great. That was very, very exciting. Sforzando piano, for me, a sforzando piano is like a hot stove. You would put your finger on a hot stove, you go like that. That should have. Could you do that? Could you do a hot stove piano for sforzando piano? From right, exactly. Music is such a wonderful language. She just goes, boom, and we know exactly where she is. Here one. Now, if you play that way, I want to hear the repeat. If you don't play that way, I don't want to hear the repeat. So I'm sitting in my chair and I think, I hope he doesn't play the repeat. But if you play this way, I say, I want him to play the repeat because it's so exciting. And those sforzandos, Dina, you play everything so fantastic. But the sforzandos are exciting because they're on a weak beat. Because you expect da 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 da. Instead you get da 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 ba da da ba da da ba da da da. I'm like punching somebody like that. Should we try from there and then go on? She has to play too. Do me a favor and do the forte 2 bars before that and make the subito piano shockingly exciting so that this lady goes crazy. Here we go. 1. Yeah. Right. 1. This is the beginning of the development, and what's really exciting about the beginning of the development, everybody's saying, is what's going to happen now? That's what the development is, because we now know the material. Now we're fascinated to know what's he going to do with it. So let's do that. Development. He takes the idea of the sforzando, and that's what he develops. That's what he takes the idea from the first part and says, now let's deal with that sforzando and make it really exciting. So make it about the sforzandos. Right, same place, development. If you had a better piano, this is not a great piano. If you had a really great piano, you could play much softer. You can't. In this piano, you can't. This room is very red. Just try. You know, Menahem Presley is so wonderful, the great pianist of the Beaux-Arts Trio. When he plays pianissimo, he goes like this. He looks like a drowning fish, you know, because he's trying so hard to play pianissimo, and he really does play very pianissimo. So try the drowning fish method and see whether it works. Yeah, right on there. 1. Yeah. Yeah, that's already, you know, it's very, very interesting because willpower is tremendous. It's tremendous. If you want something enough, you can actually create it. If you really, really, really want it. So try it again. Yeah. Since you're a violin, you can do anything you want. Play really soft, you know, softer than imaginable. And then the audience will be helped by the fact that we can't get a true pianissimo, although that was much better. 1. Isn't that interesting? Because this is so separate now. Yada-da, yada-da, nothing to do with the introduction. And what's wonderful about what you just did is everybody suddenly recognized, oh my God, that's the beginning again. It's like the beginning, so the development must be over. How short it was. Isn't that interesting? That's so great. That's so great. Bravo, bravo, wonderful. And the pianissimo was fantastic. Fantastic. So the thing is, don't be complacent about what you can do. Never be complacent about what you can do. You say, oh, well, that's enough. No, it's not enough. It's not enough to do a real pianissimo. It was fantastic. So let's do the development, and this at the end of the development, and then we'll see how he does the return. It's so magnificent. Okay, should we go? Once again. Yeah, well, one more time. Yeah, that's true. It's too loud. It's too loud. What's that?
I accidentally played the beginning.
You had to what?
I accidentally played the beginning.
Oh, that's fine. How fascinating. I always say if you make a mistake, the way to react is to say, how fascinating. It lightens people up. I was just in Malaysia. And in Malaysia, people take life very, very seriously. And if they make a mistake, they get very upset. More importantly, their parents get very upset. And there's a whole atmosphere of, you shouldn't make a mistake, you shouldn't make a mistake, you made a mistake, you shouldn't have made a mistake. So I broke that up completely. We destroyed it for the whole country. Everybody's going around Malaysia going, how fascinating. Everywhere, right? So let's get that into it. But that was great. Well done, bravo. Da da da. Oh, we did an upbeat. You know, it's interesting. If you don't think, your habit of mind will do the ordinary, which in this case is da da da, da da da, instead of da da da, ya da, ti, ya da. Too early, too early. Do write the fourth. This time it's sforzando instead of fortissimo. A little difference, I don't know why. Just to. What?
No pianissimo, it's piano.
It's piano. It's coming now. Piano, yeah, more warm. Isn't that interesting? Should we do? The whole front row went. It was incredible. The whole lot. They just went, they all got that sforzando. But we have to make an effort. As musicians, as performers, we have to make an effort to make it clear. It won't happen by itself. And that's clear. It was clear to you, it's clear to them. It's wonderful. This is great. Should we just go on? Well, let's go on because we should go to the end. But this is great. So do from, very good. Beautiful, wonderful. Wow. Look, I love this reaction. This is a life-changing moment. You finished and this guy went like that. That's the correct reaction to convincing, ideated, involved, passionate playing. The reaction, this, oh my God. How could somebody be so intense, so passionate, so considerate of what Beethoven was trying to say? It's moving. It's actually very moving when somebody gives themselves over to music totally, without any reservation, without taking care of themselves. Don't take care of yourself. We have to take risks in order to get the music over. And if we take the risk and it comes off, like you just did, it's incredibly moving. And the reaction may be laughter, or it may be crying, or it may be, oh my God. But it's got to be at that level. Do you get that? Yeah. And being a good player, being an accomplished player, being a competent player, there are all good things in banking, insurance companies, but not music. Right? have to go to another place because you're responsible for the audience traveling to that place with you. Because without you, they can't do it. They need you. They need the musicians to take them to the places where regular life doesn't take them. Is that right? That's why they come out in the snow to hear it. Right? Isn't that great? Beautiful. You're doing great. Well done. Wonderful. And I want to say one thing about Dina, because Beethoven was the greatest pianist in the world at his time, and people gasped at his piano playing. And he wrote piano parts for extraordinary pianists like himself. And Dina is one of those extraordinary pianists because we upped the tempo by quite a considerable amount, and she still could play all the notes, and with fire and with feeling and with passion and with so a little applause for Dina. Because sometimes we think of the pianist as an accompanist, but this is not a company, because the composers were all pianists. They were all pianists, every one of them, except Berlioz. And then in modern times, Schoenberg and Webern, they were string players. But before that, every great composer was a pianist. And they all sat at the piano, and so the composer is really playing the piano. And in Mozart's time, the sonatas were for piano with violin. Well, by this time, they've become equal partners, but definitely equal, I mean, a huge part in the piano. And it's great. What you're doing is great. I'd love to hear the rest of it. We don't have time, but it's great. Well done. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're great. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.